We're about to go into property management, right?
He's gonna pump,
and I want Mr. Rick Raines
zoo up
to throw up the guns real quick and say, I want to pump you up.
I want to pump
you up.
You up
with some property management information. Let's hear what's going on, buddy.
Oh my God, things are still slowing down, but at the same time, slowing down from the standpoint that property's not moving as quickly. We went up again another 2% this week.
Yeah.
And Brett's going to get into the sales end of it.
Oh, yeah.
Another one of the things I wanted to bring up to any owners out there that are listening in, the city of Las Vegas has a program now called RAFT, R-A-F-T.
Okay.
And that is basically the city's version of CHAPS. And what's interesting is that it allows landlords to apply for unpaid or future rent on behalf of their tenants, which is really interesting. And of course, there's some parameters to it. You've got to live within the city limits, and they also have income qualifications. So they look at the median income for the city, and right now, that's been posted at basically $73,000 per household, and you can't make more than 80% of that. All right, which works out to be about $4,900 a month. And the other thing is, if you are below 50% of the AMI, you get priority. Okay, or if you've been unemployed for 90 days. But the cool thing about it is, landlords or property managers, if you need a property manager to do this for you, we can get the whole process started. So that's called RAFT. And so I wanted to bring that up because that's a pretty cool deal going on. And they'll do it for up to 18 months.
What is the average wait time, would you say, for somebody that's trying to find a property to rent right now? I know it's all case by case, but give you like maybe a good analogy or maybe a good estimation.
To actually get into a property, assuming that you have average credit, average everything, really not that long, because there's a lot of property sitting on the market right now.
There is. I thought there was a shortage, and I thought increases of rents are going up, so people were really skeptical about that. Also, that you see a lot of properties that are it's scarce out there, just like it is for buying a home.
Well, like I said last week, that portion of it, the amount of tenants that are looking for places as we get into the holidays, slows down. It contracts. Mm-hmm. So we have more properties that are available right now, and being able to find a place as compared to 6 months ago, right now it's gotten pretty easy. So
yeah, let's talk a little bit. I want to talk about something. So we've seen an increase. This is not here in Las Vegas, but this is nationally. You have Americans age 60 and over have been more active in the housing market than those of the same age 10 years prior to. You look at 2009 to 2019, the share of recent buyers who are 60 years old grew 47%. So that's what I'm talking about, man. You guys are duking it out right now with the millennials out there because...
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, baby boomers are back in and they're buying homes
and they have
abundance.
Money.
Yeah.
So they have money and they've bought enough homes and been around long enough to know that when the bottom dropped out, they're like, holy, this is a cheap house.
Yeah.
And they, you know, I mean,
well, but I think
and they have money. So anywhere, you know, like 2009, 2010, 2011, I understand maybe not that many buying, but you get to 2012, 2013, 2014, you're still cheaper and you're seeing things recover. I mean, you're buying like, you know,
well, you're looking at, I want to say this too, is about, you go back, let's say 20 years. When I was thinking of somebody that was like in their 50s or 60s, I was like, man, that's old, right? I'm like, I don't know what's going to be. What am I going to look like?
I know, dude, I'm 45, right? And I was like, dude, I remember at one point I was like a grandpa.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like, okay, when I'm 55, 60, 65, what am I going to be doing? Am I going to be like looking for a group home at that point or getting close?
Can you even still walk when you're 50? I
mean, maybe you. Maybe you.
I know. I was thinking that last night at that concert. I was like, Jesus Christ.
So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, man, what's going to happen to me? But then you're like, you look at today,
checking out wheelchairs.
This guy over here's got bigger guns than all of us. You know, he's working out. And he's buying.
Age isn't anything but a number, though.
So I think you're seeing a lot of baby boomers out there buying homes.
But what's 40, 50's the new 40, 40's the new 30, and so on. Like, so 65's the new 45.
I mean, Rick's turned into a flipper, right, Rick? So you're
Rick is 69. Rick is 69, but he's really 45, and I'm 25.
But you look at it. So why do you think that the baby boomers are in competition now? And it's not just millennials; it's everybody. But they're looking at it on each spectrum, right? Millennials versus, let's say, baby boomers.
The whole thing boils down to we're living longer. Actually,
Yep.
You're living longer, and there's more opportunity. The baby boomers have got the money, and they're not sitting idle anymore. Last night at dinner, when I was talking to this other real estate broker, they were discussing their clientele, and she said most of them are senior citizens, and they're still buying property.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
you
what I'm
see it
telling
out
you.
there.
It came up last night at dinner.
A lot of clients that I'm working with are in that age group, you know, and then you're like thinking, well, shoot, should I market to them now? Because like I wasn't marketing them as much, but they typically got the money, they got the time, they got all the resources, right? They put more time into it.
I think instead of coining them senior citizens, I think you should call them experienced citizens from now on.
Experience. No, that's really good. And you know
I
what?
think somebody doesn't want to get business.
And because they have the money, they don't throw up as much resistance to you because they have the money.
And they've bought
before,
and
so they know what's going on.
They know what's going on, dude. You just got to be there.
Well,
The service, give them good service.
Yeah, they walked through the BS.
I'm shifting my mindset, man. It's
they're
all
more
about
appre-
baby boomers now.
And they're more appreciative
My whole
of
thing's baby
people who are
boomers.
directed to the point.
Well, you know, it's like I'm 56. My kids are grown. I'm just getting started, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm taking
Yep.
I'm taking from the time I was 24. Most of the clients are either they're young or they're retired. You know, I mean, the retirement age. You know, at the 60 age. There's like not a lot of in between going in right now. Doing the home inspection for them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And we got Mr. VegasCoin.Vegas. He's saying avocado toast.
Avocado toast.
Hey, that's
Avocado
what
toast.
Tom Brady does, right? That whole avocado.
Where's,
He's got like some type of avocado, or not avocado, but it's like I don't know, some vegetable pajamas. I don't know what it is.
Avocado toast.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, living longer. We see mortgage rates going up, right? So what do you guys see about what's happening out there with the mortgage rates?
First of all,
why is it going up? Everybody's like, okay, I'm not going to refi anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, if you got equity in your home, refi it if you want to pay off some
First
debt,
of all,
right?
what's the interest rate at right now?
I think it's like 6.5%.
No, it's not.
It's just like,
that's
probably
normal.
It's probably in the mid. I would say low to mid threes, but it's still a good rate.
It's
And
it's still
look,
a good rate.
I think everybody's like, well, I'm going to take a break. Maybe the holidays are coming, but guys, there's still an opportunity if you haven't refis. I think maybe some of the that's gone. You know, people have.
I think a lot of people who are going to did.
Well, I mean, but there's still a ton of people out there that want to refi or could, and I think it's just is it the timing or do people are real sensitive about rates? But we see rates going up. You know, I see people thinking it's still in the twos and it's not in the twos.
What would
anymore.
your suggestion be?
As far as refinancing? Well, look, if you got higher debt on other things, or let's say you got
Do
that $800 or $1,000 car payment that's not leased, you know what I mean? Then maybe you consider taking care of that.
What I'm saying is, if it makes sense to refi right now, it's to your benefit. I would probably suggest, and I'm sure you would too, is do it now and not say, oh, well, I think it's going to go down again for the interest rate.
No, it's not.
Like, it's not going to. Like, if you qualify for it and you want to do it, I would do it now because you're not going to really find it any cheaper.
Like we discussed last week.
Last year you could, but that's not last year.
Yeah.
No, last week we discussed Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is saying it's going to continue to go up. So there isn't a reason for you to wait.
Why you're getting credit for my joke? We're going to steal it right back. That's Verstar.
Vera said Vegas got credit for his joke. So either way, man, you guys are contributing. So you're making us laugh here in the
They're
studio.
arguing copyrights on our live stream.
I love the input, man.
Capitalism, I love it.
But you know, you look at rates. So what do you think is? I mean, you think inflation's above 5, right? In some readings that we've had to come out. Do you think that rates are going to go up to really counter that, right? To bring that inflation down? That typically slows the economy.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think that's going to happen, Rick?
I don't think that small increases in the interest rate are going to have a huge impact on inflations per se. I think there's too many factors causing inflation in the shortages that we're seeing all over, the transportation industry. I mean, that's a huge industry, all impacted. The airline is impacted. Everything's being impacted right now. It's not just one thing. And I don't think a very small bump in the interest rate is going to have much of an effect.
Or the elephant in the room, let's just keep hitting that money printing button.
Yeah, that's
that's
the
not-
other
Let's
one.
just keep printing money.
That's
Let's just
part of the
let's
deal.
let's
That's
just
part of
keep
it.
Raise
printing
interest
money.
rates and you're going after nothing. Actually.
Yeah, so they're just correcting
Well,
the
the
Band-Aid
infrastructure-
on the arm cut off.
Right.
But
Yeah.
how many and that's like that's what I mean. That's the elephant in the room, which is let's just push that money button, that money printing button, and it'll fix it.
Well, we all agree though rates aren't going to go anywhere, right? I mean, that's what
not
we're
how it
seeing, and we're
works.
seeing rates go
But
up.
the government
I know, but they
Does
got all,
it?
no.
Oh.
No, I don't
thought
think
'cause
that
the
works that
government.
way.
Explain
like
what
this
your
guy.
thoughts are on that.
Well, I just think that if you keep raising interest, where are you going to get the money from? I mean,
Just
you're,
print
you're,
more.
You're leveraged out.
Just
I mean,
print
it's,
more.
It's kind of like an engineering problem, right?
Yeah.
Well, what people don't
So
know
you're-
is that
No, I know. I'm being facetious. Yeah, you know.
So,
yeah.
so you leverage out. You
Yeah.
leverage
Yep.
out too far.
That's what we're trying to say, which is
Yeah.
it can only rob from Peter to give the Paul so many times.
Yeah.
Before
let's put it this way. So people don't know that they
Piper
were
needs to be
actually
paid.
paying. When you look at the interest that's made off of buying bonds, because they buy a ton of bonds, right? They buy a lot of treasuries. Talk about the Fed. So they have the ability to continue to do that because they keep buying bonds. They keep suppressing rates low. The interesting thing is going to be, can they actually raise rates, and how does it affect the economy to compensate for the inflation problem that we have? And it's a good point. I mean, they're trying to pass that $5 trillion infrastructure bill, right? That's going to not have an impact. I mean, look, it's not going anywhere, I don't think, but they're still introducing these bills, right? If one does get passed, first off, what's the point of it? And then the other thing is, what is the impact it's going to have on the economy overall? I think that's what people have to look at.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because I think it's going to
that's
impact
deep,
rates.
man. That's deep.
Yeah.
I think it's what Brett brought up last week. I think that a lot of this stuff that gets passed, there's stuff under the table that is impacting politicians, their family, friends.
That's most of it.
That's where the money ends up.
I
going.
mean, this latest spending bill that they want to do. I mean, it's like.
Where do you get the money?
It's like 2,000 pages or something.
Yeah.
No, I know.
There's no way in hell any one of them or their aides or anybody read even a tenth of it, let alone. So they're all admitting they didn't read it, and they're passing bills on stuff.
What are your thoughts?
Go ahead, man.
You got something to say over here, Doug?
Yeah. No, well, it's the same thing. The whole Obamacare thing, it put us into a tailspin. We went from paying $500 a month for our health insurance, and they wanted to pass it and read it later, and it's like you said, 2,500 pages worth, and then all of a sudden
it's impossible. No one's gonna.
my insurance went up to $2,500.
So
a month.
I want to
Yeah,
know is
exactly.
who's the how does that get put together? Like, who the hell is in
Where do you get the
collaboration?
money from?
Like, because someone's got to present a 2,000-page bill.
Yeah.
So are they like, okay, I'm waiting for your 100 pages over here, and then I'm waiting for your 150 pages here, and like,
Right.
who is the centerpiece behind organ? Like, holy
Yeah.
cow, man! You want to talk about someone who's pretty good at research or doing? I mean, like, where does that come from? Who is that role? Who is that person? Because
I think it's all been written in the past. My personal.
But who
thinking
puts it together
It's
and,
all
like-
been written in the past, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, take that one."
But that's what I'm
take
saying
that.
is who
Yeah.
decides, oh, let's take that 110 pages from 3 years ago and let's take, no, this is our time to get that.
Yeah.